Hey everyone, it's Matt here. Welcome back to another episode of Savant's Tech Talk. There has been a shift in popularity when it comes to code languages. Python has become more popular than Java. To better understand the differences between Java and Python, we need to look at what they're both used for, because it's important to have a comprehensive understanding of what these languages stand for. If you find this topic interesting, you can let us know by hitting that like button and subscribing to this channel. You can also let us know in the comments section down below. Now let's jump into it. So, what is Python? Python is a high-level interpreted programming language that was launched in 1991 by Guido van Rossum. Python was designed to improve the readability of the code. Its main objective was to cut down on the amount of time that you spend on a project. And Python has huge libraries for various subjects like machine learning. There's a library for almost every field in Python. So when should you use Python? Python is usually preferred over Java because of its readable code. And this means that the programmer could be of any level and they would still have a code to work with. Now, before we go any further, we'll talk about when Python is used and what its implications are. Think of Python as a library for every subject that you study. Python is highly regarded because it gives programmers something to start with. This means that it doesn't matter whether you want to program a robot or create a document. There's a library for it. With Python, the programmer doesn't have to start from scratch. Python should be used if the programmer wants to start the project quickly. It's also very useful if you want to share the code with others. And it helps you get started with new ideas. But keep in mind, the most important function of Python is its readability. It's easy to read even by a beginner level programmer. So if you're confused about whether to go with Python or Java for your next project, try to figure out whether you'll be hiring a professional IT team to do it, or if you're outsourcing to someone who's just starting out. It's best to find a professional team if it's a big project with complex code, but if you're spread a little thin, the alternative would be fine because of Python's readability. So now let's answer the question, what is Java? Java is a network-oriented compiled programming language released by Sun Microsystem in 1995 and later bought out by Oracle Corporation. Java is not just a language, but also a computing platform. It's a multi-platform language that is the most widely used after Python. So when should you use Java? While Java is no longer the most extensively used programming language, it still has a lot of community support. Java is created with accessibility in mind, and you can run it anywhere. The Java Virtual Machine is used to interpret compiled code for Java users. It can be incredibly easy to program in Java as well because of its numerous libraries. But more importantly, Java also allows people to find a code that's already been written to program a certain task. Java is generally used for web development, while Python is used by new programmers entering the field of data science. Python and Java are both languages that can be used for machine learning and API functions. Machine libraries like TensorFlow and PyTorch were written in Python. While Java comes with easy access code, Python has better data visualization. Data processing in Python is relatively easier because of data processing models like Pandas and DAX. Also, Java is mostly used by senior level programmers, and it has a large natural language processing community. Now let's have a look at some of the differences between Java and Python. Java and Python are both programming languages, but they have several differences and pros and cons to go through. So let's have a look at them. Language. Java is a compiled plus interpreted multi-purpose programming language, whereas Python is an interpreted language. One key difference when it comes to language is that Java is statistically typed, while Python is dynamically typed. Also, Python has a steeper learning curve than Java. Much like other programming languages like C and C++, Java has a rather complex learning system with various ups and downs, which means slightly harder to learn. Code. The biggest difference here is that Java takes more lines of code to read a file than Python does. Java takes 10, while Python only takes 2. In Java, the language is based on curly braces from the beginning to the end, but Python separates the codes into blocks. Interface. Java uses interfaces to study multiple inheritances, but Python can study both multiple and single inheritances. This means that Java works with only limited string functions, whereas Python works with all the string functions. Runtime. As we mentioned earlier, Java can run on multiple devices like computers, mobile phones, and tablets if they can run the Java virtual machine on their systems. Java has a faster runtime and can be debugged easily. Python programs need to be installed to be interpreted on the host machine, which makes it less portable than Java. Now let's look at other uses. Java is great for desktop graphical user interface applications, web application services, and embed systems. Python is perfect for scientific contributions in fields like machine learning and more. Java's internet hold is stable, but Python carries weak connectivity. If you still haven't made a decision, then let's look at some more differences. Some other differences between Java and Python include Python has a simpler syntax than Java and other programming languages like C and C++. Python comes with a handy toolbox for developers to work with, whereas Java is not even remotely easy to read. Python is compatible with various operating systems as opposed to Java, which needs the Java virtual machine installed before it can be launched. And Java is used for web applications, and Python is used for fields connected with data science like machine learning, deep learning, etc., etc. Now that you understand the differences between Java and Python, have you been able to decide which one you're going to use for your project? So there we have it. There is no one size fits all when it comes to programming languages. You have to take a hard look at what your project needs and go for what's best for your project specifically. We hope that you can make the right decision based on your specific needs. So, which one will you be using in your next project? Let us know in the comments down below. As always, if you found this video interesting or helpful, don't forget to let us know by hitting that like button and subscribing to this channel for more videos if you haven't already. Thank you for watching.